Well, a couple days ago I was sitting down here in the shop and I was thinking about all the changes I've seen in the tool and die industry through my lifetime. And I started my apprenticeship in 1964, so I've seen kind of an evolution of technology take place. And one of the things that I was thinking about, and this is probably old hat to some of you guys that are in my age, but some of the new guys, home shoppers especially, might have some curiosity about things like, what did we do before DROs and CNC mills? And you know, how did tool and die makers position their work pieces under spindles and so forth, you know, without something digital to help them? And I thought, well, you know, that might be kind of an interesting video. So today I want to do a quick demonstration of how that came about, or how we went about doing this. And I'll use a Bridgeport mill, and typically they were pretty bare bones. They didn't have, obviously they didn't have DROs. Now, early in my career I started seeing some methods of positioning, such as Travadials. There's still quite a few of those around. In fact, I have one on my lathe. And something called a Vernac. I won't get into exactly how those functioned. Real typical, and this probably went back to the, I don't know how far back it went, 20s or 30s. It was called rods and dials. I won't get into that one. I don't have any machines that have setups for rods and dials. It was very accurate method of positioning, but very slow, and a lot of basic arithmetic involved in using them. But today what I want to do is I want to give you this demonstration. I'll use my Bridgeport mill, and it has fairly new screws in it. So that's what basically in the olden days we relied on, the accuracy of the screws in our machines and the dials on our hand cranks. And what I might do is I might test that against my DRO on the mill. So with that said, I will go over to the mill and we'll give you that little bit of a demonstration. And I want to thank you for being with me today. My name is Mike. We're in my shop, and I hope you find this useful. So one thing that was important in using this method is to manage the backlash in your screw. And when I say manage your backlash, you always have your backlash taken up in one direction. In my case, I'm always pushing the table. I always end up pushing the table to the left. The only exception to that is if I'm milling and I'm taking a heavy cut, I've got my backlash behind the screw. In other words, my screw is pushing against the direction the cutter is pushing the work. And that mitigates the any amount of grabbing that might take place with the cutter. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll use a hypothetical move here of 1 inch 125, and I'll show you how we do that. And then we'll position over 1 inch 125, and then we'll come back and you'll see a little example of the way I manage the backlash. So my backlash, I'm pushing the screw in to the left, and so I can just go strictly 1 inch 185 at this point. So the way I do it is I count. There's 5 revolutions in an inch. So here we go. We're going to make this first movement. Okay, so we know there's 200 thousandths is a full revolution of the dial. So 5 revolutions makes 1 inch. And then whatever it takes on a dial to get that 125. So what I do is I count as I'm turning the handle. Now I note the position of my handle. I don't even have to look at passing by the 0. I just note the position of my handle. So here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8. Now on 8, the next revolution, I count 1. And if I was going 2 inches, I'd go 2, 4, 6, 8, 24682, 24683. So, but I'm not, I'm just going 1. So I've got the 1 inch. Now I go to 100 and so I go to the 100 and 1025 on the dial. Now let's see where I'm at. And what I've got is on my readout, my DRO, I've got 1 inch, 1, 2, 5, and 4/10. That's plenty close enough for a Bridgeport. So now when I come back, I'm pulling the slack out of the screw, and I have to remember to manage my backlash. So now coming back, I have to remember to push my slack in a left-hand position. So I'll go past my reading and then turn around and go back to it. So here we go, I'll go slow. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and go past the 0, and then push back. And I'm back within 4/10 on my reading here. So that's basically the way you do it. You just have to remember to count, you know. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 4. Now, if you set your 0 to begin with, you're exactly on your reading at 0. So then, if there's numbers on the right-hand side of your decimal point, now you can use your dial to get to it. So, you know, if it was 50 thousandths, I'd go to the 50 thousandths, and that's all there is to it. And coming back, you just have to remember to go past your reading and then go back to the left again to take the slack out, and that'll work. So one thing I verified is it looks like my readout is calibrated pretty closely with my screw. This is almost a brand new screw in this Bridgeport, so it should be pretty good, so I'm not too surprised. But that's the demo for today. Should be a pretty short video. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you return and watch some more of my videos. And until next time, this is Mike signing out.